I'm gonna leave him there though, for now. Buck. Where do I put him? I'll say maybe A tier. Because again, he's a solid pick. You can never go wrong with it. You have, as your main gadget, you have a shotgun, which can deal with soft surfaces, so a lot of vertical pressure can be put. Then you also have secondary hard breach, which, well, you can open hatches with it, for example, or even the wall if necessary, but you usually pick it for the hatches, so you don't have to pick Hibana. And on top of that, he has a gun 6. They recently gave it to him. So suddenly, like, he can do a lot of things for the team. He used to do even more back in the day, because back in the day he used to also have frag grenades. And then he was just overpowered, overloaded kit. What do I mean by that? Like, he could do a lot by himself. He just could do a lot by himself. You could entry frag with it, you could push with it, you could put vertical pressure with him, you could put pressure by throwing grenades with him. Suddenly, like, he was just too versatile. Like, he could just do it all. Okay, maybe not do it all because he couldn't breach hard walls, but now he's versatile. Like, he can do a lot of that. Especially a lot of that by himself. I would even put him in A plus or even S. Maybe not S tier, but A plus. And he can open. No, he cannot. No, he can do a lot. Like, I would say S tier. Like, his contribution to the team is good. He can entry frag. He's not the best entry frag, but he can do it. He's still good for that purpose. Yeah, S tier. Okay. Frost B plus. Like, her gun is great. 1.5 scope, no recoil, but her gadget is okay. She has secondary shotgun and a bulletproof shield. So actually a lot of contribution, a lot of value for the team when you have Frost. Like, you can pick Frost, just put your traps in random places. I would have to go again and draw the bell curve for you. Bell curve, like the inverted bell curve. Here we have copper and bronze. Here we have like silver and gold. And here we have plat, diamond, and we also have champion right here. And this is the scale. Works good. Works bad. The top 2% of the community is falling for the trap. Top 2% of the play. Like, I can even show you a clip, and I will include it right here. This is an end of one round, and the funniest part is, this was a champion lobby. Average was high diamonds, like, and that's the best part. Like, right next to that window, there is a drone hall, and they had a lot of time to drone, and they even droned out. That's the best part, because like a couple seconds before that clip, I destroyed the drone. They droned out, and they still fell into the trap. But yeah, this is how Frost works. Who do we have next? Oh boy, look how they massacred my boy. I have to put him in C plus. Like, on the release, that was a long time ago. He was S tier, because on the release his shield was 800 HP. Like, people didn't even know that you can take it down. People thought it was indestructible. up until someone did a test where it took them all of the magazines from an MP5K and a couple magazines from a P12 pistol to take down a Blackbeard's shield. But still, that was a lot of firepower that you had to do. But now he's like C+. Like, I'm sorry, but his guns, like his MK17, it's super slow. It's really super slow. His shields, they only give him protection for one bullet if they work properly. And then for the duration of the shield breaking, so one more shot or a couple shots depending on what the gun is. Welcome to Rainbow Six Siege, where things don't work how they're supposed to. Like when a shield breaks, there is a invisible barrier for a split second, but that split second can change a lot, because during that split second, if the reaction time of Blackbeard is good, he can hide and avoid being eliminated. But for now, he's C+. Valkyrie A+, or actually no, S tier. Cameras, or wait, no, sorry, A+. She used to be S tier. A+, why? She has three cameras that she can put anywhere besides outside, which is the thing that hurts me, because before you could put the cameras outside for the duration of the whole round, they would give you information for the whole round. So when you were creative, like this this operator, it rewarded you and your team for being creative with your camera placement. You still are getting rewarded for it, but you have to be inside the building. You cannot be outside the building, and that's painful. Because there were so many creative spots that you could use, and it was just beautiful, because if you were creative, you were getting rewarded. Now, like, because it was so hard, because like people were that's the point, people were too creative, and Valkyrie was beginning to be a problem, where you would find some kind of a crazy spot. You were super creative, you found a crazy spot where the camera is super hard to see, but it provided you with such crucial information that you knew about everything. And that's why that operator was S tier. Right now she's like A+, because like her gun, MPX, it's a pea shooter, so like if you're aiming for the body, your TTK will be very long, but it has no recoil, so you can just aim at the head and you'll be fine. Her pistol is the Deagle. It's okay. It's hard to shoot people with it, just by shooting at them, but it's more used to like create small holes for cameras or for head holes. And then she also has impacts in C4, but C4 is used more, especially if you have like combination. For example, on Cafe under New Hatch, on the top floor, you put a camera under the table, under the bench, and you put a C4 right under the hatch. Somebody watches the camera, tells you they dropped the hatch, you just blow it up. And you can, I think the most I got like that was 3 eliminations with just one camera. Another example would be Chalet in Library. Then we have Capital, like B+. Again, like he can bring a lot of value to the team, but I'm just degrading him to B+ based on guns. Like the same case as Castle or Doc. Like he brings a lot to the team, but the guns are holding him back from being A+, S. Like give him a better gun, I would say he's A+ or even S tier. But right now I'll say like B or A, like B+ or A. Caveira, meme operator. I'm sorry, but like if you're good at Caveira, you can be a real pain. You can be a real pain to deal with. But a lot of people just pick her because they saw some YouTube videos, and that's why they use it. And that's why I would say meme operator. Hibana, I would say A+, maybe A. Yeah, like A+. Or actually, do I put her at S tier? I'll say S tier. Yeah, S tier sounds fun. So S tier. Why? Actually, no, sorry, A tier, A plus. Because why A plus? Why not S tier? Her gun is good. Her secondary gun is good because it's a fast-firing SMG. She has flashes and breaching charges, which contributes a lot to the team. And her main gadget is the problem. Her main gadget is what's holding her back from being S tier. Because, like, she is good, but for the hatches. Like, if you have operators, right? If I just, like, for a brief moment, I'll take them into all of the hard breachers. I'm not gonna include Maverick into this one. I'll explain later. So if you have all of the hard breaches available for you to choose, depending on what the situation is, you will choose different operator. Like, if you just need to open a wall, you pick Ace. You just pick Ace because, like, he has a great gun. He has claymores. He used to have, oh boy, on release he was like S tier. He was broken. He was just plain broken. Right now he's like, we'll go to him later. But when you were opening you can just open a wall with him, and you can do it good. But he is terrible at opening hatches because you have 3 gadgets available, and you have to use 2 of his gadgets in order to open a hatch. So you just eat up 2/3 of your total, like, reinforcement opening ability to just open 1 hatch. Same goes with Termite. He is not great at opening hatches because, like, you have to burn down half of your abilities because he has 2 breaching charges, Termite. And, like, you just have to burn out half of your ability to open up a single hatch, which is just stupid. But then you have Hibana. Like, she can open 1 single wall. She has to use all of her gadgets in order to open a good hole in the wall. Hole gadget. 18 pellets in order to just do 1 single good hole. Like, usually people just do like, how they do it is they use 12 pellets for a crouch hole, which is not great, but yeah, and then use the other 6 pellets to do like a hole at head level for your teammates to see through. So, like, she's terrible at opening walls, but she's great for hatches because she only needs 4 pellets to open a reinforced hatch and 2 pellets for a soft hatch. So, like, she's great for this. She's great for opening hatches. If she would have, like, if her pellets were like destroying more area, she would definitely be an S tier operator. But for now, I would have to put her in A tier. Let me put Ace back into here. Let me put this gentleman back into A. Yeah, so that's why Hibana is a A plus operator and not S tier. Just for that reason. Just because she's only great at opening hatches. Like, if she would be great at both walls and hatches, she would be S tier. But right now I have to put it at A plus. Echo. Ba, 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 ba. I put him in B plus, but it's not because of the gun, it's because of the gadget. Or actually, you know what? No, let's put him at A. I would feel sorry for Echo. Like, he used to be an A plus operator when his gadget was invisible, because what would happen is that you take his drone, you set it up on the ceiling so that you can deny plants. That's why he's good. Like, he can deny plants. You just pop up on the roof, on the ceiling, you shoot at the enemy and it concusses him, making him stop planting the diffuser. So like you could just, if they didn't know that the echo drone is there, you just wait, like you play time and force them into planting as long as possible, as late as possible, and then you just shoot with an echo drone and they can't do anything. And back then it was invisible as well. So like it was very hard to spot. You would have to have who IQ. But now that his drones are visible, it's like by making his drones invisible, they nerfed Echo. Like by making his drones visible, they nerfed Echo, but at the same time they nerfed IQ. Like she's not really that useful anymore because well, you can just see the drone. Before, trust me, when it was cloaked, it was really hard to spot. Sometimes it was easy because it would contrast, but sometimes it was so hard to spot that it was impossible with IQ. Or rather, not maybe not impossible, but very hard. And that was the problem. Because like his gun, it's okay. He has impact. He has a bulletproof shield, so he can still contribute a lot to the team. That's okay. Jackal. Oh boy. I would say he is currently like an A+ operator. He cannot do everything, but he can do a lot. He has smokes, so he can help out the team, and he's great at clearing out roamers because he can just scan the footsteps, and you based on how old the footsteps are. I can't remember the exact times, but the fresher the footsteps, they will also appear in a different color, and you can see in which direction the person went. The fresher the footsteps, the more location pings you will get on that person. So he's very good at tracking down roamers and flushing them out of positions. His gun is also good, like he has the PDW-9, which is okay, and the C7E, which is great. Secondary, he has a small shotgun, so he can do a lot. He can open up soft walls, he can open up ceilings, floors. He can just do a lot. That's why I'll put him in A+. Mirror, mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the prettiest of them all? I'll say plus. Is she S tier? Maybe. Maybe even S tier, to be fair. Because like, she has a C4. She has a great gun. She has a secondary shotgun, the same as Jackal. So her kit is pretty strong. Her gadget is also strong because it allows her to see, because it's a one-way mirror. It's a one-way mirror. So from this side it's opaque, but from the other side it's transparent. So like you can see through it. Well, duh. So it's very useful for holding up the site, but you just cannot let anybody close. If you let somebody close, they can just punch the glass on it, and you will not be able to see anything. Which is this is the biggest weakness. This is the biggest weakness of mirror. Like a lot of times she cannot defend her mirror because a lot of times they can just walk up to it. That's why you have to be very smart about your placements. Ying. Where do I put Ying? Maybe A. Or rather, after the LMG nerf, maybe B+. Yeah, after the LMG nerf, B+, because, like, she's very useful for the team, which automatically, in my eyes, would put her at A+, but the gun is the problem. The gun is a huge, huge problem. Because, what do we know about Ying? She has secondary heartbeat, and I think she has smokes. Wait, the other way around. Like, I know she definitely has smokes, yeah, and she has a secondary heartbeat. So, like, she can do a lot, right? And her gadget is flashes, which don't flash herself. Like, she cannot flash herself with her own flashes. And like, you can also set a delayed explosion on them. So like, you can just throw them. They will just roll around on the how's it called? They'll just roll around on the floor, or you can even attach it to walls and ceilings on floors, and just flash everybody that's behind that wall or below that floor. Then you either use smokes or secondary heartbeat, and that's very helpful for the team. But like, the gun is the problem. Like, after the LMG nerf, it's just not that. It's not what it used to be. Like, because before she used to be like A plus, or I would say even S tier. But right now, I would say maybe A plus, like A. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because she's not bad. Like, don't get me wrong, she's not a bad operator, but just it's just the fact that she's not as good as she used to be. She's still good. She's still great, but she's not as great as she used to be. Uh, then we have Legion. I would say A tier because, well, his gun is okay. He has impacts. His gadget used to be A plus because he could see all of his gadgets through walls. Doesn't matter if it was on the other side of the building. He could see the icon, and when somebody walks into it, the icon disappears, and aha, okay, they're coming from that side. So it was a very good, not even like, because back then it would deal damage when you walk into it, and then deal even more damage over time. Now it deals damage over time only. So those crazy ideas from the very beginning, where you would just wait and, like, for example, you're in a 1v1 situation at the end of the round, the enemy is like half HP, and what you do is you just stack up. You would used to stack up a tower. You would just aim at one spot at the top of the dorm frame, throw the traps and stack them up into a tower. The person would not, like, for example, see it, and they would just walk into the tower and instantly just collapse. It was just funny. But yeah, but now it's still okay for intel gathering. It used to be better. It's still good because better player will, based off sound, will know, and remembering where they put the traps. They will say from. They'll give a call out from which sides one person is coming from or more. And he's still good for a roamer. Then we have Sophia. That's A plus. She cannot open hard walls. She cannot contribute much to the team. Like, okay, she has 2 stuns, but that's mostly used for personal use, and 2 explosives, which are like, well, yeah, basically just impact grenades. They're okay, but not much for the team. More for herself. Like, as a fragging operator, she's S, but in general, she's A plus. Like, her gun, especially after the last changes, her M762 is really good. It was, of course, people used to play her with LMG because, like, you have 150 bullets, no recoil at all. You can just hold down left mouse button and walk, and your recoil will be still very low. So you can just walk and just literally, you would just walk and point, hold the left mouse button and just point where you want to shoot, and you had 150 bullets. Then you have to reload. Okay, you take a couple seconds off, you reload, and you suddenly have again 150 bullets, and you just continue. So like 300 bullets. That is a lot. That was a lot. Now with like now M762 is back into play because, like, yeah, because how LMG meta happened is because they nerfed the most popular fragging operators. They just nerfed the most popular fragging operators. They nerfed Y7S3.3 into oblivion. It was really hard to control. Same goes for R4C. It was so hard to control that the average gold teamie just couldn't control it. And okay, so they nerfed Ashe. A lot of people moved to Zofia. Again, they nerfed Zofia. Average teamie couldn't control the Zofia's LMG. They moved to Sledge. Again, they took away the SMG-11. Average teamie was like, okay, screw that. And suddenly, aha, wait. LMGs, they have no recoil at all. They have good damage. Why shouldn't I use it? And a lot of teamies started using LMGs. And it created a very painful meta to deal with, because suddenly you had all those people that would just walk into sight, hold down left mouse button, and just go, just spray and pray, and they would most likely get at least 2 kills, and it was just painful to deal with. So like, Ubisoft kind of created the meta themselves. Was it a good decision? I don't think so that it was a good decision to nerf those operators. I know that they were a problem because, like, for example, Ashe used to be way off the charts. Like, her presence was like above 90%. A lot of people used her. Zofia, she used to be, I think, 70-ish%. So Ubisoft didn't like that and they nerfed them. Same happened with Fenka recently, but I'll come to her in a second. For Ela, what do? I would say B+. Like, she's a good roamer, she has an okay shotgun, she has an okay SMG, her gadget is okay. It used to be much more powerful. Same with Zofia's concussion grenade. It used to be much more powerful, because how it worked in the beginning is that it would mess with your sensitivity, with your mouse sensitivity. You wouldn't just be flashed and concussed, it would also mess with your sensitivity, capping it at so low that you couldn't turn. You couldn't turn around fast enough. So you would hit the concussion grenade. You're like, for example, aiming to the right, and suddenly a Ela could just run up to you and like punch you from the left, because you just couldn't turn fast enough. It was very painful to deal with, and they had to nerf it. I'm happy that they nerfed it, because it was just pure pain. Like, capping the sensitivity is just pure pain, especially in a game like Siege. Dokeby. I would say A. Oops. Yeah, there we go. A. Why? Okay. Okay, like, she has a DMR. That's good. Her gadget is calling all phones of the defending operators, which throws them instantly off the cameras, and, well, you hear the sound of it. Then, like, for secondary weapons, she has a very strong SMG plus gun 6, so team value. Again, she has also smokes and flashbangs. That's team value. But she's not A+. Just based on the fact that she has a DMR, and recently they made so that if you eliminate one defender, you activate her gadget, that phone of the eliminated operator will call. Because before, it wouldn't call. It wouldn't play the sound. And now that operator of the eliminated, like, the phone of the eliminated operator creates sound, which creates, like, false information. You have to remember, like, you cannot be sure. Wait, is that phone of the guy that I eliminated, or is that phone of a guy that's behind me and he's about to punch me? And you just didn't know, and you just don't know. That's why, like, she used to be, in my eyes, she used to be A+, but now she's A. Like, she's solid. Like, she's not a bad pick, but there are better picks. Maybe because of this, I would rather put her in B+, because, like, there are better picks than her, but she's still a solid pick. She's still an okay pick, but she's like if I had, for example, a team of Sledge, Thermite, I don't know who else, Maverick, Nomad. Wait, Sledge, Thermite, Maverick, Nomad, and Dokkaebi, and we needed to switch one operator. 10 out of 10 times I would ask Dokkaebi to switch. Just 10 out of 10. I wouldn't even hesitate. I would ask Dokkaebi, can you switch to a different operator? Like, we need, I don't know. We need Flores. We need Olsa. We need someone else. Please switch. I would ask that person 10 out of 10 times. Because Termite, needed. Sledge, needed. More useful than Dokkaebi. Nomad, very much needed, and Maverick, very much needed. Dokkaebi is the least useful operator in that comp. Please, can you switch? Then we have Vigil. That's A tier. Just a very good roamer gadget, which makes him like you cannot see where he is exactly when you're looking from when you're at the drones and looking for him. You cannot see where exactly he is. Like you can see due to a filter which is applied on your camera, like those white noise, those white bars that you can even see on his operator icon. Those white bars, well, without the eyes, are being displayed on your drone, so you know he's there, and you hear the sound of that gadget being activated, so you know that he's there, but you don't see him exactly. So, like, you still have the information, but you don't have the exact information on him. He has impact. He has a great gun. That makes him, like, in my eyes, it makes him a good roamer. Then we have Lion B plus. I'm sorry, but like, oh boy. Lion is another operator which brings back the memories of the old Siege, where he used to be just plain overpowered. Like at the very, very beginning, pro players were either 100% banning him, and when he wasn't banned, he was a pick. Like he was a must pick. Why? Because how his gadget used to work is that if you moved during the Lion scan, what would happen is that outline of your body would be displayed to the whole team, to the whole enemy team. So basically, in short, that operator was legal wall hacks. Nobody was happy with it. Like, that operator is the reason why for the past year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6, and half of year, yeah, almost, like, oh, almost, wait, 4.5 years, he's the sole reason why for the past 4.5 years there was a period of quarantine for new operators before they entered pro play. That operator is the sole reason why new operators weren't instantly used in pro play. So for like, what do you mean by that? Like, you have year, let's say year 3, yeah, like year 4 season 1, you have Gridlock and Mozzie. Those operators would be turned off in the pro play for the duration of year 4 season 1. In the professional leagues and in the tournament. Because people still had the memories of how Lion just destroyed Siege, that nobody wanted the same situation again, so they introduced a quarantine period during which they would see how the community plays with it, and if there are any problems that need to be fixed before it's used in pro play. But now they nerfed them into such that when you move during the Lion scan, it just pings your location every second for I think, period of 3 seconds, 3 or 5 seconds. It pings your location, but it doesn't show the outline of your operator. Like, it just pings the location. So yeah, Finka, Finka, Finka. Ay, ay, ay. Look how they massacred my boy. Finka used to be S tier. Now she's like B+. Why? LMG nerf. They took away her nades. I mean, she's okay. Maybe not B+, A. Yeah. Or because like she doesn't deserve to be B tier. She does. I'm I'm not decided. Do I put her in A? Do I put her in B+? Because like her gadget is still strong. Like you can heal your whole team without having to walk up to them. You can do it 3 times, and you can pick up people from a distance. So like her gadget contributes so much to the team. You have Gone 6 and Smokes, so that's still contribution to the team. And then like fragging options. You have the spear, which is not great. It's not really horrible, but it's not great either. So that's why I would put her in A. Because before she used to have nades, Gone 6, LMG, and on top of that heal. Like her kit was so overloaded that she was S tier. She was basically a must pick. Yeah, pretty much. Alibi, her gadget is completely trash because like how her gadget works is that she can put a hologram of herself. Still, a lot of people fall for it in every rank. But when you have an operator skin applied to yourself, it doesn't apply to the hologram. Still, out of like just pure reaction, like yeah, unconditional reaction, like you will still shoot the hologram when you don't know if it's a hologram or not. But yeah, besides that, she has the bailiff, so side setup, plus deployable shield and impact, but deployable shield is used more. Plus her gun is great. So like I would put her in S tier, but because of the gadget, I have to put it at A+. Or oh boy, do I. You know what I'm gonna put in her S? Because like, she's a great roaming operator, and like all around, she has a very strong kit, but her contribution to the team, I don't know. Like, actually, you know what? I put her in S tier because, like, as I said, like, her gadget doesn't mirror the skins that she has applied, but still, a lot of people fall for it, giving you the location and like, and also delaying the push because the first thing they do when they shoot a alibi, they just run away because they don't want to be shot. So I would say right now she's an S tier operator. Then we have Maestro. Oh boy. I would say maybe B+, or rather maybe B. Yeah, B. I feel pretty satisfied with the decision because like his gun is okay. He has the bailiff, so he can do side setup. He has impacts, and he has 2 cameras which can see through smokes, and he can also destroy gadgets with it. Yeah, no, B+. Uh, so like, yeah, I wouldn't consider him an A tier operator. Like he's still good, but he's not great. Maverick, A. Oh boy, Maverick used to be S tier. No, he's A tier. Okay, why? Because like Maverick is and isn't a hard breaching operator. Like you can use him to hard breach, but it just takes a lot of time and is most of the time dangerous. Because like what happens? Like there is something called Maverick trick. What you do is you torch out the bottom portion of the reinforced wall, then you do the same for the top portion, and it destroys the reinforcement, so it leaves a soft wall. And you don't have to walk up super close to the wall for it to work, so even if it's electrified, it doesn't damage you. He used to have nades as well, now he has flashes and claymores. So like, he can still contribute to the team, but he cannot do as much as he did, because like, his gun is good. That's why I'll say A. Clash meme operator. Sorry, but if there's a good Clash player, like, then he can be a pain in the ass to deal with, but sorry, meme operator. I just don't like this. For Nomad, that's A plus in my eyes, because she can cover the flanks with her gadget. She has a really good gun, especially that they gave during the recoil rework. They gave her the vertical grip. She used to not have it. Now it's there, and she has also flashes. So like, she's very useful for the team. Like, again, new players, if you have Nomad and you see that your team doesn't have Nomad but already has like the hard breach, some kind of support or entry fagger, pick Nomad. Just pick Nomad. Like, you can never go wrong with Nomad. Sometimes there will be more useful operators to pick, but just don't how to say that? Just don't you know, don't stress about it. Like, it's a very good pick. It's a solid pick. Like, you can literally never go wrong with Nomad. She will be always useful if you put down your gadgets properly. But that's the harder part. That's the part that yeah. Well, you just have to put your gadgets properly. So like, if you have a barricade, you cannot just put it in front of the barricade. You have to put it in a place where it's harder for the enemy team to shoot it down. Because if you're just going to put it in front of the barricade, then they'll just shoot it and flank you or run out. But if you do it properly, like, she's super useful. That's why new players, if you want to help your team, pick Nomad. Even don't be afraid to ask, like, where do you want me to put the the air jab, the gadget? But a lot of times, like, people will just say, "Oh yeah, just put it on the door here, and it will be fine, thank you." But like, this operator is great. It's great. Like, she's not S tier because she can't do everything, but she can do a lot. Then we have Cade. I would say A. Why? Like, his gadget is super useful. He can cover hatches, he can cover walls. C4, but just based on the guns alone. Just based on the gun alone, I have to put him in A tier. Because like, his AUG is okay. They took 1.5 scope from him, so that's bad. His gun is still okay, so that's but it's not great. Then he also has a shotgun which packs a punch, but yeah, you have to be confident with your aim in order to use it properly. Who do we have next? Gridlock. That's B. She has smokes, yes. She has, I think, secondary hard breach, if I'm correct. Or breach charges. I can't remember, but she definitely has smokes. Super shorty. An okay gun. And a gadget which definitely stops flanks, or rather delays the flanks, I should say. Because it doesn't stop the flanks, but it definitely delays them. Because like, in order to get rid of the gadget, they either have to run through it, which slows them down, creates a lot of noise, and damages them. So that option is already thrown out the window. Or they have to shoot it, which creates noise. Which, well, you know where that person is coming from. So Gridlock is okay, but there are better operators to play. Malzy. Oh boy. Again, another operator which they massacred because he was so popular. He still is, but he's not used as much as he used to be. B+. His gadget is great. Like, you can take over drones from the attackers, which gives you more information. His guns are okay, but the B10 Roni, like after the nerf, it has such a low capacity that yeah, if you don't eliminate someone with the first mag, the chances are you don't even have the chance to, you don't even have the ability to, well, yeah, not ability. You will not be permitted to reload. Like, let's call it like that. Still SC4, so a lot of good gadgets. Nook, where do I put you? Huh? Because like she has. Okay, let's look at her gadget. Gadget, it's good for solo pushes because it makes her invisible on the cameras, and it makes her silent. So that's good for solo pushes. She has an okay gun. She has nades, and I think she has also a secondary hard breach. For pistol, she has the deagle. So, like, based on the guns, she's A. But the rest of the kit put her at A+. Like, she's, like, in terms of solo pushing, she's as good as Zofia. That's why I want to put her at A+, not A. Because, like, Ash would be A+, in my eyes, if she had a scope. If she had a scope. If she had a scope, like, she would be A+ in my eyes, even maybe S tier. But for now, I have to put her at A. That's why, like, Nook is higher, especially that she has nades. This is also like the part where because like if she didn't have nades, I would put her at A, but because she has nades, I would put her at A+. Oh boy, who do we have next? We have Warden, and we're already past the half of the list. Yay! Warden, where do I put you? I'll say he's A. I would say he's definitely A. Why? Because he can see through smokes. He can, if his gadget is activated, he can be immune to flashes. He has an MPX with a 1.5 scope, and he has a C4. So, like, kit-wise, he's good. Gadget-wise, it's very situational, but it's decent. That's why, like, I would put him in A, because you can still be a good roamer with it, you can still anchor good with it, but is he A+? No. Is he S tier? No. Like, I would rather put him like B+ or A. I'm just gonna be like nice today, and I'm gonna put him in A. But yeah. Next, Amaru. Oh boy, where do I put her? I guess I'm tempted to put her at meme operator because like her gadget is so loud, and she's vulnerable. Like when she jumps in, like she's vulnerable because like it takes a second or two to take out a gun, and in that time, yeah, if you're unlucky, then you'll be eliminated fast. But then, like, if you're smart, you will have a drone, see if you can jump in. And when you jump in, you're just putting a lot of pressure. So I would say maybe B tier or C+. B, maybe B. Based on the guns alone, I would say B. Not really C+. For Goyo, I would say he's B+. He has an okay gun. His gadget is eh. Like the canisters, if they would be proximity based, as in somebody walks close to them and they activate, they would be A or even A+. But like in his, like, the B+ category was like guns ish, but guns like B+, category is A+, operators, that are limited by one aspect, either by guns or by the gadget. That's why like I put Goyo here. But moving on, Kali is next. Where do I put you? Because like I'm leaning more towards situational rather than C+. Because the main problem with Kali is that she has a sniper rifle. A bolt action sniper rifle as her main gun. In a game which is as fast paced as Siege, this would immediately put her at the lowest tier. Just if I was to look at the guns alone, I wouldn't even think about a C+, rather C. Why? Because, well, you miss your shot and you're done. You're basically done. In a close quarter situation, you're done. Sure, you have the SMG, but that SMG is, yeah, it's great. It's not great. It's not horrible. Let's put it like that. But like her gadget, which brings a lot of value to the team, I would say either is making her either situational or C+. I think I can put her at C+, to be fair. Because like her secondary gadgets are Claymore and I don't even know, to be fair. I don't use this operator that much because of how there are just basically there are more operators that do her job but better, while also having better gun kit, while also having better kit. That's why I think I would have to put her at C+. Then we have Wamai. Oh boy, that's A+. Or even S tier. I'll say even S tier, yeah. Because he has guns. Oh, okay. MP5K, AUG, that's good. Those are good guns. P12 pistol, good. Impacts, good. And his gadget, it can help the team a lot. You can stop nades, you can stop certain gadgets. He's a really strong operator. He's not really do-it-all, but still a very, 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 very strong operator. Yana, A+. Same case as Zofia and Nock. Very good entry fragging operator. Strong gun, grenades. That's all there needs to be said. Oryx, I haven't played them after the new update. After the year 7 season 3.3 update. But I would say he's like B+ Ray. I think I can put him at A. I think he's a very good roamer. Just as good of a roamer as Vigil. The T5 SMG is strong, 1.5 scope, vertical grip, so no vertical recoil. Bailiff, so like you can do rotations, open hatches. You can jump for those hatches as Oryx. You can dash, that's your main thing, so like he's a very strong in terms of roaming. Ace, oh Billy, that is a... Do I put you at S? Do I put him at S? Because like he deserves to be at least A+, but does he have what it takes to be S? Because I think I could say yes. I think he can be an S tier operator because he's on release he was do it all. Like if it was right now year 5 season 2 and I was making this tier list, I wouldn't even think about it. I would just put it at his tier because his gadget and kit was so strong back then that he was a one-man army, like Mr. Do-It-All. Right now, he's still strong. Like his gun, AK-12 plus 1.5 scope, it's still strong. It's still very strong. Pistol P9, it's okay, but mostly use the main gun. You have claymores, breaching charges, And then on top of that, you also have, as your main gadget, heartbeat charges, which you can throw from distance, which already makes it better than Termite, because Termite has to walk up to the wall and place it onto the wall. Here, you just have to throw it. That's all you have to do. And it still creates a decent haul when you do it. Because you can do the same job as Hibana in opening walls, but you do it better. You do it better than her. Because the holes that you create are slightly bigger. So like you can do a hole through which you can walk through, and next to it a window, so that you can see what's happening. That's why I would put them in S tier, to be fair. Melusi, A+. I'm even tempted to do S tier, but I would say A+. Because why? Gun, MP5, it's okay. That is really okay. Second main weapon is shotgun, but like, come on, let's be serious. Pistol, very good pistol with a. This is the only pistol which only also has a red dot sight. That's why it's very good in my opinion. Impacts, she used to have a C4, and she was a menace because of that. But impacts plus a gadget that slows down and makes a lot of noise, and it can like when it's closed, it can only be taken out with explosives. If it's open, you can, well, you will have to activate it in order for it to open, and then it can be shot down by shooting the middle part, which opens up. I remember back when she was released, that thing was indestructible by bullets. You had to walk up right to it or waste an explosive. So back on the release, she was S. She was S tier. But right now I would put her in A+. Because like her gadget is very strong, her guns are okay, and she has impacts. So like if MP5 was stronger, I wouldn't even hesitate. I would just put her at S. But like I think like if I would put her at S tier, like not really. Like I think I have to put it at A+. Later we have Zero B. I'm sorry, but like his guns. Okay, maybe let's be fair. B+. His guns. MP7 with 1.5 scope. Okay. His gun SC3000K, I think it's called. It's strong. Then we have his pistol 5.7, which is always suppressed. It's okay. Then he has, I think he also has a gun 6. So like I would rather use a gun 6. So that brings up in team value. But the main thing holding him back, again, what I said about the B+ tier, a tier for operators which deserve to be in A or higher, but they're being held back really, really hard by one of the aspects, either guns or gadgets. And in case of Zero, that's gadgets. Like, okay, his cameras are fine. Like, they can go through rotate, you can see on both sides of the walls, you can even shoot a laser to destroy one gadget. So, like, you would say, yeah, that gadget is fine. Why do you put him at B+? Because, first, that camera is loud when it hits the wall. So you can hear it from a miles away that Zero used his camera, and you'll be able to instantly shoot it down most of the time. Second thing is that it's bright. So like, let's say you missed it. Okay, you missed the sound when it hits the wall. You will be still able to see it because like the light, it shines a bright yellow light, plus the gadget itself is very big. So it will be very hard to notice. That's why I would say his B+. Because like in general, like on paper his gadget is good. On paper his gadget is really good because you can provide a lot of information, you can take out gadgets. In reality, his gadget will be taken out before you can do anything as Zero. So that's why I decided to put him at B+. Because he's not really B tier. but he's not A tier. So that's why I want to put him at B+. Then we have Aruni. I won't even hesitate S tier. Strong kit, strong gadget, and a strong passive ability, which is the metal arm, which can open up rotation holes like there is no tomorrow. I don't even hesitate. I would say S tier. Right here, right now. You can hate me for it, you can love me for it. I don't care. That's my opinion on it. Like, you can do so much site setup with her by using virtually nothing, just your time, by like having to walk up to the wall, punch it out. You can do rotation holes, you can do head holes, you can do whatever. You can do feet holes. Then you have a DMR, which can do it from a distance as well. That DMR packs a punch. Pistol is okay. And the Aruni gates, they're so helpful for the team and stopping pushes, or rather delaying pushes, that she's very strong. Of course, there are certain situations, like I'm going to show right now on screen, where, yeah, like, this is like the problem with Aruni. Like, you think that, okay, that person is not going to push. And suddenly I do the exact opposite. I'm going to push you. Because what? I'll have, like, I know that you have to reload. Like in this instance, I knew the guy had to reload. And I knew that I'll only lose like 30 HP. Sign me up! 30 HP for that? I'll do it. Especially that he doesn't believe I will do it. He thinks I'll still be outside, or maybe I'll stay inside the room, because like I'll see the gate and be like, oh no, I'll lose too much health. No, I would love to trade 30 HP for you. Of course, I would love to trade nothing, or just my bullets for one elimination, but yeah, if somebody gave me like, okay, you will lose 30 HP, but you will eliminate this guy. Will you do it? As you can see through this clip, yes, I will. So that is only like the problem with Aruni. Like, a lot of people forget that people still can walk through those gates, and often they will not. But there will be situations like, well, like like my clip from ranked that I just showed you. Sometimes people will do it because like because they calculated if they will profit from it or not, and they will just do it. But besides that, she's still a strong operator, because like, for example, how do you want to put the gates? Either on doors, rotation holes, or for example at head holes, because then what happens is that the RNA gate will stop any flashes, or any will stop one flash or one grenade flying through that. If you see that if a flash is being thrown, you will back out because you know that the nade is coming next, or you will just pull back from the wall but still look through the head holes, still hold the side. So she's still a very, very strong operator. Then we have Flores. B+. His gun is okay. His kit is okay. The gadget, again, it's the gadget holding him back. Like, don't get me wrong, the gadget is very useful. But I think that if his drones were slightly quieter or slightly faster, then those drones would be much, much, much better, and put him at like A or even A+. For now, I'm going to put him at B+, because like still, his drones are very useful for, like, for example, the best example of that would be Oregon on basement, when they have a shield at the elbow. If they don't know how to hold it properly, then you can clear out the shield so fast with Flores, and that gives you a much higher advantage because you don't have to peek in order to throw a grenade or use a Zofia or any other thing to get rid of that shield. And you can destroy a lot of gadgets with that Flores drone. So, like, he's very good. Like, he brings a lot of value to the team. But yeah, he could be a bit better. Then we have Thunderbird. That's A. Why? She can heal a lot. She can heal a lot, and her kit is very strong. Like, Spear is a good gun, Bearing is a great gun, and you have Impacts plus C4. So like her kit is strong, plus the gadget, it enables you to heal the team very fast. Because you have 3 gadgets that heal 30 HP each. You still have to walk up to it, but like you heal 90 HP, Thunderbird just picks it up, places it down, it kind of resets the cooldown. There is still cooldown before the gadget activates, after you put it down, but the cooldown of like after you take a heal, that before it can heal you again, that cooldown gets reset. So like she's strong, but not really that strong, because she used to when you were full health and you would walk up to the Thunderbird gadget, you would get overheal. Now you don't, so that's why she's not really A plus or S tier operator. Like she's good. Like if you don't know what to pick, and like the most important operators are already picked, so like Jaeger, Bandit, Cade, Mute, Smoke, whoever. If all of those are if those most important picks are done, then you can pick Thunderbird and nobody will have any problems against you. Nobody will have any problem against you, because that is a very solid pick. Then we have Osa. Oh boy. I'll put her at A, because I know how good she can be and how big of a pain in the ass she can be to deal with when you know how to use her. But I just have to note that is a pretty important note, that you have to have a coordinated team. Otherwise, just pick something else. Because gun-wise, she's okay. She has the 5.56 XI, which is the termites gun. This gun is strong. It's okay. PMM pistol, that's okay. That's a very good pistol. Smokes and EMP impact grenades, so that's a lot of contribution to the team. Shields that she can put up, and there are certain bugs with those shields. Like for example, when you put it on the window, but first you have to do certain activities. I'm not going to say what. Let's not spread exploits. But you are able to create a pixel peak. So like the enemy team will see that you're rappelling. They will not see you yet, so they will think that you're still below the window, and suddenly you get domed in the head because it turns out that the Olsa was rappelling, and she was rappelling and looking for a pixel peak, for a pixel angle at you. So it's not really used that much. There are more interesting exploits, and of course I will not tell what's the exploit, because I don't want to spread exploits here. But there is an interesting interaction with Azami, which is also, if you don't know about it, it's pretty hard to deal with it if you don't know about it, because like if you don't know about it, you will look at the thing and you think it's okay, and then you suddenly get shot because turns out that it wasn't okay and there was some kind of exploit use which created the pixel angle, and you get confused a lot. But again, I'm not going to spread exploits here, so you can look it up yourself if you want. If you want to find it, you will find it, but not from me. Next up, we have Torn. I'll say B plus. Her gadget is okay. She has deployable shields, so she can bring a lot of value to the team. Her gun is okay, but like the gadget, the activation time of the gadget makes it that most, like 99% of the time, people avoid it being damaged by it, and it doesn't really do much. So I would say like B plus. I don't want to say anything more. There is nothing more that needs to be said about that operator. Azami. Da da da. Where do we put you? I'll say A. I would say she's an okay pick. Because like you can create a lot of covers and funny things with your gadget. Her guns are strong, she has impacts, she has the 9x19 with no scope sadly, but still it's a strong gun. The Deagle has the pistol, so she can do some side setup as head holes or any other thing, but not rotation holes. Rotation holes she can do with her impacts, but usually like somebody with shotgun would do it. And that's it basically. Like she's a solid pick. Of course, sometimes there will be better operators to pick, but sometimes she will be the play. Like for example, where she is used like the most popular clubhouse in garage. Like when you're holding CCTV cache, you also want to hold garage, and if you put up Azami barriers for cover, it will. Oh boy, it will be so hard for the attacking team to get rid of you. If you play it properly, like it will be super hard for your because like usually it's not even Azami sitting there because usually it's Wamai. Like usually when you play CCTV garage, CCTV cache on Clubhouse, you pick Wamai or Jaeger, mostly a Wamai, Azami, and then like Cade or Bandit, Smoke and someone else. Azami creates the barriers on Catwalk in Garage, and Wamai just puts up his gadgets in such a way that he's covered, and he can hold the garage like there is no tomorrow. So there is this strong interaction there. For Sense, B, maybe even C+. His gadget is, I'm sorry, but it's not really that useful. Like, I don't even see him played so often. So, like, because his gun, it's weird, because it's a 9mm gun. It has 50 bullets, but it has a recoil of a gun that is like 5.56 or even 7.62. So for a 9mm gun, it has a very high recoil, which is it's just very weird. Why would they put such a high recoil at a gun like that? So yeah, it's just weird. And his gadget, it can be helpful, but it can also work the other way around. Same as smokes. If you do the misuse smokes, then you're basically making it harder for yourself rather than for the opponents. Because like what usually people do is they throw the smoke and just plant in the smoke. Like, please, when I see one smoke and I hear planting sounds, the first thing I'm going to do is throw a C4 in that smoke. That's the first thing I'm going to do. Or a smoke gas grenade, or just spray the smoke. I'm sorry, but that's just the reality. And you're like, which scenario I'm thinking about right now? I'm thinking about a bank basement. I'm sorry, but just like I see one spot being smoked off. I can see it. Your teammates can't see through the smoke, so they can't see what I'm doing. And I can just throw a C4. Because if you use the smokes differently, if you use the smokes properly, you would smoke off the rotation hole, and you would smoke off right behind the bomb so that you can see from the soft wall and you can see from the door. Because then it makes us not see, and your teammates will still see, so they can cover you while you're planting. They can see the C4s being thrown through from the smoke. They can see if somebody tries to run through the smoke, they will see them first. So those people are already at a disadvantage. That's why, like, please, that's a tip for newer players or lower ranked players. Don't like, well, that's just an example of bank, but like use the smokes to cut off angles for the defenders rather than for yourself. Because if you're just going to throw smoke under your feet and it's going to be the only smoke, I'll just know that you're there planting and I'll just blow you up. And then you will blame your teammates while you were not covering. Mate, how are they supposed to cover you? They can't see. And another example that comes to mind, Clubhouse. A lot of people, what they do is they smoke off right on breach and they plant in in that smoke. I'm sorry, but it's just logical. And your teammates cannot see, they cannot see us, and so we can just deal with you. I mean, of course, if they have glass, but that's very rare. And we can just, okay, well, let's say that this will happen. I'm confident that it will happen. I'll just pick Warden. So suddenly I can see through the smoke, and yeah. So like tip for new or lower ranked players: smoke off the angles. Don't smoke off yourself, because I've seen this happen so many times where people would smoke off themselves, start planting, they would be eliminated, and they start blaming their team. Again, how are they supposed to cover you if they can't see what's happening? It's impossible. It's just impossible for that person to help you. That's why try to smoke off angles rather than smoke off yourself. If you're going to ask, okay, Mr. Diamond, how would you do it on Clubhouse with the smokes? I would throw one smoke on deep into red stairs and one deep inside on the cash door. Cover the door, watch the catwalk. I would rather assume that you will deal with the garage first before you enter. That's how you usually do it. You first have to take garage control if you want to enter a CCTV and plant on default, or plant maybe somewhere else, because sometimes there is a pre-placed C4 on default. But yeah, like just smoke off red stairs, smoke off cache, watch the cache wall, and watch the flank from garage. That's it. Because then it gives attackers the advantage rather than the defenders. It's all about that. Using smokes in such a way that it gives advantage to you, not the defenders. Because a lot of people just throw the smokes in such a way that it gives the advantage to the defenders rather than attackers. Okay, last operator though. Sorry, C. Currently, he's the most useless operator. He can be. He's like super situational. I think that's how I'm gonna put him. I think that's the only operator from this tier list that I'll put at situational. Just purely situational. Because Kali is situational as well, but not as much as Grim as the newest operator. Because like she can still bring value to the team regardless of the situation. For Grim, it's very situational. It's just super situational. Plus, he's not used currently a lot, so that's the main problem with it. But yeah, if you have any questions, if you have any doubts, feel free to ask in the comments. I'll try to respond as quickly as possible and explain to you the choice of why not, or even understand and agree to your point. Like, if you don't agree with something, say why, and I'll either agree or disagree with you, and if I disagree, I'll give you a reason why I disagree. But if you will make a very good point, then maybe I'll probably change my mind about something. But yeah, that would be all for today, and I'll see you next time.